Another title update for Monster Hunter Wilds. Another big burst of negative reviews. I'm going to tell you, while it does not bring me any satisfaction at all to see Monster Hunter go through so many cycles of these negative reviews, they are warranted. They are. And I'm sorry for everyone out there who is just like me, loves the game because it's Monster Hunter, and loves the series and doesn't want to see it get negative reviews, but it's warranted. It needs to be done, and stop complaining about it. I'm sorry, but it's title update 3, and anytime it's brought up, this title update or the last one that we had with 9-star tempered monsters, it's people just assume that the reviews are, ragging on the game's too difficult now, or it doesn't have content or whatever. The majority of these reviews are still the same thing since February 28th when the game came out. It's the game's not optimized. People can't play it on hardware that says it should be able to run it. It's just upsetting. I mean, you pay for the game and you see all these updates coming out, but nothing is done for optimization. Yeah, it's got a little better here and there, but it feels like every title update so far screws something else up. And I'm sorry, but I think we have to stop pushing the narrative of do what Cyberpunk did, do what No Man's Sky did, because these devs are not taking it to heart the way they should. They're saying, let's release a game that is not, optimized correctly, that is not does not have the content it's supposed to, and we'll fix it later. And that's not the moral of those stories. But that seems to be what these devs are doing. Now, as Monster Hunter Wilds has been out, my opinion of it has kind of gone back and forth. Um, I took a little over a week off of work just to play Monster Hunter Wilds when it came out. And it was a great time. Easy, but a great time. After the honeymoon wore off, I started to see all the issues. Now, I didn't really have too much issue as far as optimization. Um, Being as, my rig is, it's not top end. I don't have an NVIDIA graphics card, but I have a 7900 XTX with a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D processor. So it's not a slouch. Um, does what I need it to do. So I didn't see a lot of the optimization stuff, but I know a lot of people that do. I know that people were seeing polygons for monsters when the game came out, which was ridiculous. I think we need to step back and understand where these people are coming from and why they're so upset. They want to play the game. And I don't care if you're sick of hearing about it. If they paid for the game, who are you to say that they can't complain that it's not optimized? Yeah, go play another game. I get it. I understand. This is the game they want to play. Okay? You don't want to see the bad reviews? Don't look at them. But the devs need to be reminded. And again, I love Monster Hunter. I've been playing since the first Monster Hunter came out. I have the first Monster Hunter on my bookshelf back here, along with every generation. but the devs need to be told again and again and again until it's fixed. There's another sentiment out there that it makes me laugh. It's funny. Um, People have started using that the saying, "A game made for everybody is a game made for nobody," in terms of Monster Hunter, especially in terms of Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the funniest thing to say about Monster Hunter Wilds because it's ironically against what they're saying. So people are saying it because, you know, when people go on and say, I don't like Omega, uh, I don't like the Omega update, I don't like this update, I don't like that, what have you. And they're like, well, a game made for everybody is a game made for nobody. Funny you say that because Monster Hunter Wilds has pushed further and further towards being a game made for everybody than any other Monster Hunter ever has. Your commitment is way lower because of focus mode. They've taken out a whole bunch of the uh, commitment aspects, the uh, little intricacies of things that needed to be done in the old games. Um, it's just a lot more streamlined than it used to be. And they're trying to appeal to a wider audience, which they have to. You you you've got to appease those, you know, corporate assholes that push you to go in one direction or another. Basically, make more money. But that said, Monster Hunter Wilds is the biggest, best-selling initial Monster Hunter game ever. Ever. It hasn't sold as much as World yet, but it's not been out nearly as long as World. It it destroyed what I thought it was going to get. Apparently, everyone thought it was going to get like 9 million copies sold, which is what it got, but I didn't think it was going to get that much. I'm happily surprised. Now, that was initial, like, what, week or two in or something like that when that happened. But saying that a game made for everybody is a game made for nobody, in a defense of what they're doing for Monster Hunter currently, is ironically hilarious. Because that's literally what they're trying to do, make a game for everybody, make a game for more people. Not to mention, everybody in the Monster Hunter community, everybody, myself included, has wanted to get more people, our friends, co-workers, anyone we could, to play Monster Hunter. Because once it clicks, and you love it. You want more people to play? Stop complaining that they have opinions about the game. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion as you. Someone doesn't like the game? Hey, sorry to hear that, man. I hope you play the next one. The sentiment that it's the same people complaining all the time. No, it doesn't. Show me. Everyone keeps saying it's the same people complaining. I think it's just rhetoric to make you feel better. It's the same people complained that the game was too easy are now complaining that the game's too hard. Show me those people. I want to see the people themselves, for one. For two, as far as difficulty, I think it's at a decent spot, um, aside from a couple things. I just don't. The combat in Wild is not for me. I still love the game. I still go back to it every now and again. I don't really make content on it anymore. Um, because I don't feel like playing that long in it. I go in for a hunt or two. That's about it. Jump out. Just something to do. I like getting that itch again. I'll go back and play World. I'll go back and play Rise. Every now and again, I get the 3DS out and go back and play 3 Ultimate or 4 Ultimate. I'll get the Switch and I'll play Generations Ultimate. If I really want to play something old, I'll get the PSP out and play on that. But every now and again, you get the itch. But I don't go back to it nearly as much as the other games, just because the combat doesn't. It's just not for me. But I do see the point that people are making with Omega. It's hard. I've played it. It's hard. Um, I usually try and beat everything myself solo first, aside from things like Extreme Behemoth and Savage Omega. Um, right now, I have no interest in doing Savage Omega, but I do have a problem with Savage Omega. People keep comparing Savage Omega to Behemoth. Well, Behemoth and Extremeth from World, which I understand why. They're both from Final Fantasy. They're both from the MMO Final Fantasy 14, I believe, for both of them. I like the Behemoth fight. I do not like the Omega fight. If you remember back to World, you got an armor set, which was meta, and you got an insect glaive that was craftable from Behemoth material. But it was craftable from regular Behemoth. Extremeth, the only thing it gave you was a name title, a name tag. Basically, bragging rights, I beat this. Meant nothing for the game as far as meta, as far as being stronger, nothing. And Behemoth itself was quite easy with randoms. I do not consider myself great at the game at all. I cannot solo Behemoth. I've never really tried. I did go back and do an attempt at like a lower HR when I did my replay through my Back to World, Return to World playthrough last year. But it was a one and done thing. Extremeth was difficult, quite difficult. Even with randoms, it was difficult. I did end up beating that twice on my PlayStation save. I've never attempted it on my PC, but Omega is different. Savage Omega gives you the armor set, which is OP, and it gives you 3 weapon options: great sword, long sword, and sword and shield, if I remember correctly. That shouldn't happen. I've been seeing well coordinated teams go in and fight that monster, Savage Omega, that is, and get bodied over and over and over and over again. I have a very hard time believing that the majority of people with randoms are going to be able to do this. And I'm sorry, but not everyone has friends that play this game. Nor does everyone play online. So you have what is probably going to end up being, at least parts of it, part of meta sets, part of sets that people are going to want. Because that's what everyone goes for, the meta sets. We can have a whole other discussion about whether or not you should play meta or not. But nevertheless, even you streamers out there that are going to say, well, don't play the meta. You don't need to play the meta. Play something else. Be original. Blah, blah, blah. The first thing you guys go for is something to do the most damage. Every time you get in a hard situation, well, let me see what the best meta set is for this. That's just how it is. Okay? Whether it should be or not, it is. And the current armor situation, decoration situation, did not help that, which is unfortunate. But Now, I do not have a problem with the hardest monster in a game giving the best materials or the best armor set or weapon or whatever. I actually think that should be the case. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't think Fatalis should have, the best armor from Iceborne." No, no, it should. It's the final monster of the game. The hardest, I still think, the hardest challenge you can have in the game, other than if you, only use high rank materials and go back and fight Extremith. Fatalis is still the hardest in Iceborne, as far as I'm concerned. Um, I guess you could argue it could be Elatrion, what have you, but regardless, Elatrion's materials and armor are still up there. I believe you should get the best equipment from the hardest monster. So then why don't I agree with it? For one reason. This isn't a goddamn MMO. People signed up to play Monster Hunter. Okay? Monster Hunter's not an MMO. Uh, it's got some similarities, but it's not an MMO. It's a completely different style of playing. That's like going from playing turn-based XCOM to playing Monster Hunter. A completely different skill set. You might be good at both. Not everyone is. People might be really good at XCOM, really bad at Monster Hunter, or vice versa. Um, Throwing in a monster with completely different mechanics, changing the core game style, and then saying, now, again, what I think is going to be meta armor. I don't think the weapons will be. Maybe the longsword and sword and shield. I don't think the great sword is. But we're gonna tie that to weapons and armor that everyone's gonna want. But again, it's a completely different game style. That's not core to what you signed up for. I don't agree with that. I think that crosses a line. I don't think I don't think that's something that we should be looking forward to going forward. Now, if you like Final Fantasy 14 and you play it, I know people have played both. Not everyone plays both. I don't play it. I've never touched Final Fantasy 14. I don't play MMOs. Not my thing. Um, but I understand where you would like it. That's fine. Some of us don't like it, which is also fine. And we can voice that opinion. You don't like it? Too bad. Our opinion's our opinion. You can't just tell us you can't have an opinion because we don't like your opinion. Too bad. Uh, Now, some of you are going to say, well, you just said Behemoth had meta sets. Yep. The difference was it was regular Behemoth, not Extremeth. Extremeth did not have, like, you could get the stuff from Extremeth, but you were not required to fight Extremeth at all. You were required to fight Behemoth to get that, who was nowhere near as hard. He was still the hardest at the point where it came out. I still did like that fight. Um, and this is kind of a retrospective look at that, where I think it's okay now. At the time, still kind of left a sour, you know, taste in my mouth for it. But retrospectively, looking back, the way that it was done there, I'm more okay with than the way it's done here. Because again, it was a much easier fight than this. because the mechanics were not as bad. It just certain weapons are not good against Savage Omega. Tell me to get good. Tell me to whatever you want to tell me. I don't care. Certain weapons are not good against it. Certain weapons are. I've dealt with this a lot in Monster Hunter lately, and I just don't care anymore. I don't need to beat everything with Switch X. Honestly, I've been playing a lot of Gunlance in Wilds because it's a lot easier to block than to perfect dodge 3 moves in a row while in sword mode. It just is, and yeah, I don't know. Um, I have a lot of issues with this game. It's just, again, I love the game. I do, but that doesn't mean I don't see places that it can grow. I don't know. This has been a long rant. I didn't really mean to go into my review on things I dislike about the game. Uh, this is mostly supposed to be about uh, people complaining that people are leaving negative reviews, which are justified. Again, if you don't like the game's optimization and you bought the game, so everyone, other than people that got given the game, even still, game's not well optimized. You complain about that, which is what most of the reviews are. Most of them are just the game doesn't run well at all. So, you know, fix it. Stop doing collab updates. Very well polished collab updates, by the way. It did come out very polished with new characters, animations, monsters, all that could have been put in the optimization. It's neither here nor there. But that, and then not liking Omega. Now, not liking him because it's too hard, and not liking it because of, like I said, tying it to meta armor sets on something that is not Monster Hunter core experience. A little bit different, but I understand the sentiment. Nothing meta should be tied to something that is not a Monster Hunter core experience. You want to make, Omega work just like a regular monster? Make him hard like you made Fatalis hard. Don't make it an MMO based thing. When you push further in this MMO based thing, you're going to get pushback because people did not buy this game to play an MMO. If they wanted an MMO, they'd go play Final Fantasy XIV, not Monster Hunter. I don't know how hard that is to figure out. And yes, people like Final Fantasy XIV. I get it. You're excited that they have it in Monster Hunter. Good. Good for you. That doesn't mean other people need to be happy about it as well. It doesn't. And it's just silly to me that you'd be upset that people want a core Monster Hunter experience in their Monster Hunter game rather than a different game. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I've been talking way too much, rambling. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut because I just rambled for a while. Oh well. If you did like the video, please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. All be much appreciated. Let me know if I'm wrong here. Let me know if I'm right. Uh, Comments are always open. Don't be an asshole. Don't be derogatory or anything like that. And your comment will stay. I've never had to delete comments, but I've never made a video quite like this one. So, you guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time.